everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with the Scattered Candles stencil, and it's a 6x6 stencil. We are going to have some fun with some colors. I have to say this is the first time that I have used this many colors on a stencil, but I had to give it a try. Lots of Post-its, blending brushes, and lots of distress inks. We are using Kitsch Flamingo, Festive Berries, Carved Pumpkin, Squeezed Lemonade, Mowed Lawn, Peacock Feathers, Broken China, and Wilted Violet. Yes, I did attempt to color the candles without any Post-it tapes. I wanted to have this rainbow going across my card panel, but I also wanted to have the flames yellow. Yeah. The Post-its came into play. Post-its are a great thing. They're inexpensive. They are great for masks. And you can even buy Post-its that are solid sticky. That's what I basically come in with eventually, because I'm able to cut them. And I can get them into strips, because that's really all I needed to do, was to just make sure that I covered the flame on the top and covered alongside, to make sure that I kept the color where it was supposed to be. This is a great row of candles because some are solid, some are stripes, and they have different types of stripes. Some are going horizontal, some are going on a diagonal. So you can get some really wonderful textures going across your panel. This did take me a little bit of time, and I was surprised though. It only took me about, I'm gonna say 20 minutes to do this inking. Now, I'm using my blending brushes. You could use a Q-tip. You could, I think Q-tips would be the best. Q-tips would be awesome. Or if you're going to, now what you could have also done, the candles, some of them are longer than others, but you could have actually cut out sections within your Post-its and placed them down. And you could use a sponge dauber as well. So there are ways that if you have larger, like a makeup sponge or anything like that, that you could still have this effect. I was going to go straight across, but I'm like, you know what? They're really jumping up and down. So this was fun, actually. Once you kind of got into this groove, you kind of like, yeah, okay, this is the way that I do. I got to put it up here and I got to put it to the side. So again, only about 20 minutes. You can see I'm constantly moving those Post-its. After a while, I did have to change them out. I did notice, I think it was on an orange, or there was a color where I could see some of the other color bleeding through from the Post-it. So once I knew that one side got really inked up, I did then change it out for another one. I did make sure that I used the other side of the Post-it as well, to make sure that I wasn't contaminating or putting another color in there. Now again, I'm creating a rainbow, so it wouldn't have been that bad. And we would have just kept on going, because we don't stop. We keep on going. When we just make little, they are happy accidents when we make them. When it comes to the flames for the candles, we're going to use two different colors on that, and I'm actually going to pull back in the Squeezed Lemonade and the Carved Pumpkin when it comes to doing those. What's also great is as the candles are going across, they're not particularly even. So one row is going to end on a pink. The other two rows are going to end on an orange. Another row is going to end on a red. So you get this great effect as you're coming across. I'm sorry, I got a squeaky chair. So sorry. As you're putting your inks down onto your image. Now, you could put a lot of ink. I guess I was in the middle of when I was putting my inks down, but I didn't want it too heavy because there's something else that we're going to do when it comes to these candles to help make them stand out even more when it comes to the image. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So we're coming down to the end. And I do like to use stencils. I don't use them enough. But stencils are a great way to put a huge impact on your card. With the stencil can give you the bells and whistles, if that makes sense. All of this beautiful ink blending that you can do through your stencils, all of the different colors that you can have with your stencils. There is really a lot that you can create. Now, I made sure with a dry cloth, I went straight down the panel and not across the candles. I almost did that. I almost went across the candles. Excuse me, that would have been horrible, but we would have kept going. I'm coming in with a very fine detail blending brush so that I can fill in those flames and not have to use the Post-its. Now, I could have used this type of a blending brush all throughout, but it would have taken longer. So again, you know, we have these tools that do help us speed up the process just a little bit. The flames took absolutely no time at all. And here I come with the carved pumpkin. Again, just coming in at the base. So all we're doing is just a little bit of ink blending and getting ink down onto our cardstock. The cardstock that I am using is the Nina Solar White. I'm not using a Bristol for this. I'm not adding any water to it or anything like that. I'm just putting my inks down. I also don't plan on using any gels or pastes over the stencil. So that's why I went with the Nina. I think this looks great. You could leave it just like this, but let's come in with a black fine liner. And all we're doing is outlining the candles. We are not being perfect with it. We are being very sketchy with it. The ink may be coming out of that black line. There may be a huge white gap from the black line to the ink, but that's what makes it fun, makes it whimsical. So just have fun drawing your lines around your candles. I did not go over the flames. Okay, I did not, you know, outline the flames at all. I just went around each of the candles. You could do all of the horizontals, then turn your paper and you're still doing horizontals. So that's the beauty. We can turn our paper and keep stroking that pen across our paper in the same direction. Once that was done, I'm going to adhere this onto a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch black panel that'll be set onto my standard A2 size card base, which is the same in dimension. This will be a top folding card. For my sentiment, I am using the Happy Birthday Chunky Script die. I've cut that 3 times, layered that up, glued it onto a piece of vellum, and I'm just going to set that directly across my card panel. I'm making sure that the sentiment is in the middle of the candles. I don't want to block any of the flames, and if I can avoid blocking a lot of the candles, I tried my best. I'm going to trim off the excess of the vellum hanging over, and then I'm going to come in with my sparkle pen over the Happy Birthday. And then that will be our sparkle for our card. So I had a lot of fun with this. Again, really the first time that I did this type of inking using a stencil. And I've seen so many people do it. And I'm like, wow, that takes a lot of time. It really doesn't. And I had a lot of fun. So I hope you give it a try. And I know you'll have fun with it as well. As always, the products that I used will be listed down below in the video description if you want to check them out. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below as well. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up, especially if you enjoyed that video. And plus, that helps YouTube to push it out because I know somebody else will enjoy it as well. Enjoy. Have fun creating your art because that is what you're doing. But always remember what's most important. Always be creative. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care, guys.